Well, it's like in a lot of sports, they have, like, especially like Olympic sports and things like that, they have periodization, which is kind of basically peak training. So Michael Phelps, a month before the Olympics, isn't swimming nearly as fast as he will in the Olympics. And what they try to do is they literally scientifically try to figure out, from diet to training to sleep to all these different variables, how he will peak when he needs it. So it's a little tougher in golf because it's not just straight like a physical 200-meter sprint in a pool. But there's some of the similarities, obviously. Just in the fact that, you know, trying to get into the routine of practicing and working on hitting shots, being technical when we need to, but preferably not very much. Obviously, chipping off of tight lies. It's not really a course anymore where you can really hit bump and runs anymore and stuff like that. It's more lob wedges and whatnot. Practicing putting putts that move, you know, and where the break's going to be. And then obviously, if you think about it, like number one's a straight shot to a fade. Number two is a definite draw. Number three is kind of whatever. Number five is definitely a draw. Seven's a bit of a cut. 8 is either or. 9 is definitely a draw. 10 is borderline a hook. So you're going to have to be able to move the driver from right to left. So if I have a guy typically who's cutting every shot, we still bring some in because you're going to have to hit it. Like, you can't cut it on 10. You can't really cut it on 9. So to get the most out of it, to hit as far as you can, you got to be able to move it a bit from right to left. So it's just more of that focus, and then just staying on top of, like, not burning out and not sitting out here in the 2 weeks before Augusta and practicing for 8 or 9 hours a day. It's just leading up to it. And then from a mental standpoint, you know, it's obviously looking at the fact that it's a very important tournament to them, but that first tee shot is just the driver down a par 4, just like anything else. So it's trying to assess with the way they're reacting to things if subconsciously there's a lot of anticipation and maybe expectation. So it's, you know, I don't really have a science of it. I haven't been able to calibrate exactly what it is, but I typically go out with my guys 3 of the 4 events before each major and just kind of do it. And over the last few years, we've had, like, really good results in top 25s and top 10s in major championships. So we're just kind of sticking with it. So it's being efficient with the work, not overworking, and then just understanding, like, you know, take it one day at a time and don't get that whole focus of Augusta, 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 because if you build that pressure up inside of yourself, you'd be, you know, might shoot 40 on the front 9 and be out of it before you even know it. You know, if it matters too much, then it becomes more difficult. It's still driver 8 iron on 1. It's still driver rescue on 2. I know it's the Masters and it's that, and they've dreamed of winning it their whole life, but you have to look at it at that when you're there, you know, as tough as that may be. You know, as far as Masters week goes, it's like, hopefully my job's done on Wednesday. You know, I'm still there to watch them play, kind of watch how they react, posture, body language, things like that, because just that can undo a lot of good work. But ideally, it just, you know, at Augusta, it's a little different because I don't get to walk inside the ropes during the practice rounds. Not that I need to, I can see from outside, but, you know, it's just, it's a cool week. Like, as a kid, when I started teaching about 17 or 18, when I started teaching for a living at 21, I was offered tickets to the Masters all the time, at least a few, or 4 or 5 years. And I told them I wasn't going to go to that tournament until I was coaching a player in the field, or everyone used to laugh and whatnot. And that was fine. I understand why they did it. Probably sounded pretty crazy, right? But that week is just more, you know, like every week, as much as I'm instructing them and helping them, I'm there for more support as a friend and as a coach. Like, coaching isn't just technique specific. You know, there's a lot of pep talks that have happened in locker rooms at halftime that have totally changed the way the games went. So more of an inspiration. Let them check themselves that they are getting too serious about it. You know, and then work with them on the range and work with them on their short game like it's really any other week. I mean, that's how I try to look at it. It's just any other week. So I'm looking at their golf swing the same, but just trying to understand the contributing factors that could be changing performance a little bit.